I'm Neil Smith. To say that my life on dry land is a hectic one would be an understatement. I'm a single father raising my 3 wonderful children on my own. I encourage and support my children working part-time, as well as caring for my eldest son who has cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is caused by abnormal development of the brain or damage to the developing brain that affects a child's ability to control his or her muscles. What is important to me is giving my children an opportunity to bond with nature. When children come into contact with nature, they reveal their inner strengths. And there is nothing more special than experiencing the natural world and cherishing quality time with my family. My love of the sea and the rivers and everything nautical sprang to life in the mid to late 90s when I worked as a photographer on board cruise ships travelling the world. Being a keen photographer since the age of 15, my skills as a landscape photographer have been recognised both nationally and internationally, and my photography has been published in various books and magazines worldwide. Owning a river cruiser has been a burning ambition of mine, and I fell in love with Teasel the minute I laid eyes on her. The beautiful, unspoilt River Nene has become my playground, the place I can escape and relax, my source of inspiration, my place where my best and happiest memories are made.
Boating, riverside scenery and photography. What more could you want?
I am at a very cold and windy Dog in the Doublet lock here just outside Peterborough, a mile from Whittlesey, because I hear a strange rumour of straw bears.
Once more, the lure of vast landscapes and big skies has drawn me to the Fenlands in East Anglia, where the River Nene becomes tidal. On the Whittlesey Mere just outside Peterborough, the Dog in a Doublet Lock is a major waterways place at the junction of the River Nene main river with the River Nene tidal section. The tidal section, which runs from Peterborough to Wisbech, called Smith's Leam, is a large straight channel and was dug in the early 1700s. The Fens, also called Fenland, is a natural region of about 15,500 square miles of reclaimed marshland in the east of England. The Dog in the Doublet Lock and the bridge bear the same name as the pub that was originally built as a coaching inn for the Dutch when they were draining the fens. An early landlady had a small terrier dog, which, after a dip in the river, lost all of its coat, so she knitted it a doublet.
It's freezing cold outside, so I've come into the Dog and Doublet for a nice full English breakfast. Wow, this breakfast is so good, it is really nice. I thoroughly recommend coming here, the Dog and the Doublet at Whittlesey. This breakfast is just phenomenal. It's amazing, it's great.
Whittlesey Mere until 1851 was the largest lake in lowland Britain. This lake was the source of fish and reeds for thatch. When the brutal Fenland frost froze its waters, the lake was used for speed skating and ice yachting, which are sailboats on skates. Every January, the small market town of Whittlesey hosts an extraordinary event to wash away those winter blues. Once upon a time, over 150 years ago, there was a man and a person covered in straw being dragged around town, knocking on people's doors, collecting money and donations on behalf of the local farmers. They called him the Straw Bear, and this became an early tradition. However, over the years, people began to get fed up with the bear. It began to be seen as begging and became illegal, and the two men were arrested for begging. The festival ceased to exist and the tradition faded out. 27 years later, a local historian decided to try and bring the festival back. A man dressed in straw with his attendant parades around to traditional music all through the town of Whittlesey. The custom had been revived. It was the custom that on the Tuesday following Plough Monday, the first Monday after the 12th night, to dress a worker of the plough in straw and call him a straw bear. The festival now has over 250 dancers, musicians and performers from all over Britain performing traditional molly, morris, clog and sword. Morris dancing is a quintessential traditional British form of folk dancing. Molly dancing originated in Cambridgeshire. Traditionally danced on Plough Monday, it is a feast dance that was danced to collect money during harsh winters. One of the dancers would be dressed as a woman, hence the name. Border Morris dancers are recognised by their characteristics such as black faces, use of small strips of bells or no bells, costumes decorated with ribbons, strips of cloth, pieces of coloured paper and fancy dress. They come from the counties along the border with Wales. Whittlesey isn't the only place in the world to have a straw bear. In Volbern, Germany, the town celebrates its own Straw Bear Festival on the Monday before Shrove Tuesday. The Straw Bear Festival was a tantalising feast for the senses. The rhythmic drumming and the traditional dancing, I couldn't help but tap my feet to the music. It certainly has to be experienced and left me with a feeling of pride that these traditions are still kept alive and celebrated today. The landscape that features in much of John Clare's middle period poetry is the vast expanse of fenland in East Anglia. The principal characteristic of fenland is its flatness, marked by expanses of shallow water, either fresh or salt. In his poem Winter in the Fens, Clare opens with a rather gloomy prospect of such a landscape.
So moping flat and low our valleys lie, so dull and muggy is our winter sky, drizzling from day to day dull threats of rain, and when that falls still threating on again, from one wet week so great an ocean flows that every village to an island grows, and every road for even weeks to come is stopped, and none but horsemen go from home.
A lot has changed since John Clare's time, but I find inspiration from the Fenlands. I love the big open skies and the horizons that you can see that seem to go on forever and ever. Don't forget to take a look at the amazing work Nenscape do at nenscape.org.